SNX Radio invites you to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos with us as we dive into UFOs, cryptids, and everything otherworldly. As we navigate the night, we investigate the unknowns that spark our curiosity and challenge our understanding of reality.
Turn it up, let's go! Coleyufo in the cockpit live. If you're ready for the truth, throw your hands up high! Truth beyond disclosure. Lights in the sky take over. Coley got the buzz, it's a takeover. Everybody in the club yelling, show us! Truth beyond disclosure. We want facts, we want closure. Hands up if you're tired of the cover. This is the sound of the secrets uncovered. Yo, radar locked, but they don't see nothing. Hometown kids saw the triangle hovering. Phone in his hand, got the whole thing filled. Next day gone like it fell in a kiln. Black fans creeping, sir that's a star, but his zigzag snaps like a muscle card. There's a base batch flash. Don't take pics till the hanger got craft that can break physics. New spin tight with the same 10 lines, but the pilot can't sleep, see the same 3 lights. Briefed in a room, this meeting ain't happened. Sign this paper, mine gets flattened. Flip that script when Coley goes live. Pull a tape back, play a slow rewind. Every in a blur, in a gray enhanced. Now the whole damn world in a trance like truth beyond disclosure. Lights in the sky take over. Coley got the violence, so take over. Everybody in the club yelling, show. Truth beyond disclosure. No place, oh no. Put your hands up if you're tired in the cover. This is the sound of the secrets uncovered.
Yeah, I know what I saw, don't gaslight me. Whole block froze when it slid low key. Silent silver hanging over my street. Then it shot straight up like it skipped through beats. Grandma told tales, but they called her wild. Same marks on her arm since she was a child. Same humming in her bones when the sky turns steel. Sleep tall, visitor stepping into her dreams. Foul deck, empty, screeches like down. To the truth leak loud from a single shout. Cold case photo, same bright sphere. Different decade, ain't still the same damn fear. You can scrub that feed, you can spin that feed, but the pattern stay sharp like a laser beam. Coley in the booth, bring receipts, stack proof. Whole crowd chant when he hits that truth light.
Hands up if you see strange lights. Hands up
If you heard them lie,
Hands up if you don't with classified.
now scream if you want that file.
Hands up if you see strange lights. Hands up
If you heard them lie,
Hands up if you don't with
classify. Now scream if you want that file.
When I say Coley, you say UFO. Coley, UFO. Coley, UFO. When I say truth, you say let's go. Truth, let's go. Truth, let's go. From the base to the bay to the back road, tight into the jet cam clip for the tic tac. Comment from the doc in the lab with the men of that blood. Take a late night show where the story begins. This our time, this our show. Turn it up loud on this next radio. If you want that file, better make that noise. Whole world sing with a million voices, 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 voice, 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 truth beyond disclosure. Beyond disclosure. Disclosure. Truth beyond disclosure.
Temperature drops, the room goes still. Echoes fade in a silent thrill. SNX Radio, the feed is live. Operation Black Mirror, nowhere hide. Face kissing digital haze. Coast on the run, eyes locked, screens ablaze. The future has begun. Restitution was a half and shift. Something new is watching back. We've come for the moment to drift, caught on this digital track. Welcome to the watch. Mirror accepts your bleed. No resignation, no turning back. Just what you want to see. Black mirror, it all to unfold. No turning back now. Mirrors on your application accepted. The journey's begun. That's radio operation. Black mirrors, radio lost in the reflection again and again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley. I apologize. StreamYard has made some official changes, and I don't know what was going on. But anyway, we got it all figured out. Everything's good. And we are doing fine. So just wanted to say thank you, everybody in chat, for holding on. I know we did postpone it a minute, but I really, if you've had kids before, you understand just how complicated things can get sometimes. So, yeah, but we have Miya StarFire with us, and she's as beautiful as ever. But before I bring her on out here, I wanted to say hey to everybody. Hey, Spider Bite, how are you? J Skyrunner, nice to have you. Cosmic Voice 33, great to see you. Yeah, Kitty Catty Whack is in the house. I love that girl. So let's see here. Kurt W75. Awesome. Oh, Miya. This is our lovely Miya tonight. So we have Curie. It's nice to see you. And did I miss any? Oh, Spiritual Ascension. Hey, girl. It's nice to have you. Spiritual Ascension, always. She brings some flame to the fire, I say. Absolutely great people. Randy Stewart from Channel 12. Hello. And for those of you who do not know, a special series, an SNX exclusive, Truth Beyond Disclosure, will be airing over on Channel 12 TV network. So stay tuned for more information on that. Jared Hansen, hello and welcome. It's always nice to have local people in here. Okay, so we got Foolish. So great to see you guys. Everybody, this is a great chat. So I know that we kind of, like I said, getting started a little bit later than we had planned on it, but it's well worth the wait. Well worth the wait. So tonight, many of you have seen her in chat before as Miya StarFire. Excuse me, I'm like jumbling words together today. And so in case I did not do, last thing before we get going, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody had a safe holiday, and that you at least got some good food and some great company. I mean, they're just great food, even, or one or the other is fine. I mean, you just got to make do sometimes. But give you a little background here on Miya. She's a spiritual healer, an empath, an ET UFO experiencer based here in the United States. She describes herself as totally perfectly imperfect. I like that. Focuses on shining her light and the path ahead. So with 26 years of experience, an energy healer, she specializes in intuitive healing and Reiki. So she's a light warrior, starseed, ET contact. She's got it all going on. And she says navigating the ongoing spiritual awakening, in which she calls the golden age. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Miya on out here. And she's got a great channel. If you guys have not seen it yet, definitely get over to Miya's channel and check it out. Hi, Miya. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. I said we're good now. We got everything all under control. There's some issues on my end with StreamYard, so I didn't think we were going to get out of a loop for a second, but we made it. So here we are. So why don't you tell everybody a little about what you do, who you are?
Okay. Well, I'm like she said, I'm a healer working as a massage therapist and doing energy work for the past 26 years. ET contactee and paranormal experiencer, and just been guided to share my story and maybe help those who want to share their story also, and connect with their guides and the divine, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that you refer to yourself as that light shining, and absolutely, we are all perfectly imperfect. That's very
Kinda-
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, how did you get into all this? Were you born into it? A lot of people, I mean, the experiences for me, I was born as like seeing spirits, but ET didn't come till much later.
When I was younger, I had lots of imaginary friends. And what I've come to understand is those were just like other beings around me when I was a child. But I was quickly told that it was my imagination and it was evil because my family was extremely Catholic. So they got really scared when I started to see things or play with fairies in the forest or any of that kind of stuff. I do have memories of being on a big ship when I was young, but I thought it was a dream. Um, what I'm coming to understand is that these dreams aren't really dreams. um, and then nothing really huge happened. I had a couple experiences when I was a teenager. Saw a large light being made of plasma hovering over the road, and me and my friend drove through it, and it scared us really bad because this was in the 90s when none of this was really popular. And then had some the odd here and there, hearing things or maybe saw something move and just wrote it off as nothing. And then about almost 6 years ago, when I woke up, when everybody else woke up, well, really woke up, anyways, um, I started seeing craft in the sky. And once I acknowledged that it was what it was, it came more and more apparent. More and more of them would show up. Then a couple people died in my family within 2 months. And so that made me like dive deep into the spiritual side of things and discover what the world really was. And so, yeah, it's only ramped up from the first couple of sightings and experiences in my home.
Wow. So, would pass when the activity had started to heighten? Is that what I hear you saying?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
Like, okay, so I had somebody who was really close to my life, and there was a death about to happen, and the paranormal stuff was going haywire.
Yeah, when my grandma was sick, the paranormal activity, like it was mostly like lights flickering and stuff, um, and shadows out of the corner of my eye. But it's still at that point, I wasn't like for sure that what I was seeing was actually happening until she did die, and then it ramped up even more because I still live in the home that she passed away in.
Oh,
So,
wow. Wow, yes. No, I noticed like my son's dad, but we were very like, we were engaged to be married back then, but we came back from my grandparents. It was like right around Christmas, and he's like, "Did we bring something back from your grandparents or something?" Cuz like electronics are going off. I even we had this electronic toothbrush, but I snapped that sucker in half where like the part that did not have any should not have been going still, and it still was going, and it's like the garage door up and down, and like it was insane. It was absolutely insane. I thought it was my grandmother or my grandfather, excuse me. I shouldn't have said that. My grandfather, because he had a stroke. And I was like, well, and I remember 2 days prior, I just had this odor, like I felt it. I'm like, somebody is going to pass. And I called my aunt and I was like, somebody's going to die. Like somebody is going to die. I said, I got on my computer. I was putting these pictures together for my grandfather. And I just remember my aunt saying, sometimes it's who you least expect. And I was like, whoa. And could she have been more right? I mean, truthfully. But after that, too, like the activity definitely did. How far out away from her passing are you?
4 years.
4 years. I am so sorry, first
Oh,
and foremost. Like, I'm so
yeah.
sorry. So, do you feel like, hey, like you still have that ability to kind of connect with her? Or is it you're too close to the situation to do that?
Oh, definitely. I connect with her a lot. At first it took, I don't know, several months before I could actually feel like she was around. I don't know if there's some kind of delay or process that happens between dying and then what happens afterwards. But
Did
yeah,
you notice the period where it seemed like she left for a couple weeks?
it was like months, and
Or
I don't
months,
know.
yes.
If she had stuff to do. I don't
No,
know.
that's normal. I've heard this from so many people. Afterwards, it's like all of a sudden, like there's maybe a day or two, but then I think for me, it was close. It was through like the month. I definitely know there was definitely a chunk of time, but it's often, and I thought, well, what do they go to the light and then come? I don't know where they go. But they definitely go somewhere where it goes absence. Either that or they're like in some training program. Okay, now that you're on this side and you want to communicate with Earth, like
Yeah.
who knows what's over there.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I have no idea. But yeah, I think it started more with the paranormal, and then the contact stuff started to ramp up then. I feel like it's all connected. Like it all must have some kind of direct line to each other, from spirits to elementals to cryptids to ET. Like there, it has to, because they all kind of like coalesce in the same time frame. For me, anyways, that's been my experience. I just feel like there has to be, like they have to be in the same dimension or something. And I do feel like they wait for us to notice and then kind of hit you with more once you do recognize what's happening.
Yeah. And do you use any sort of like equipment to, I guess, use like an EVP or any of the paranormal equipment? Or are you more just like, I know you said you have a lot of like crystals and things like that. So what's your preferred method, I guess?
I I do a lot of inside air feeling. I'm a very highly sensitive person, so if a spirit walks past me, I will definitely feel it. Um, and I have an obelisk, one of those. It changes the channel and gives you a word every time to answer you. I don't really like that thing. It's a little loud. That's about it. Other than like night vision camera type things, I don't usually use too much equipment. Plus, it's all pretty expensive. So,
Yes, it is. You can say that again. I have never bought so many overpriced pieces of equipment before. Some of them I end up just, absolutely loving. The last one I think was like the ultimate. I have a Stephen Huff. It's called the Wonder Box Portal. It's not plugged in or anything, but it's actually like it literally is, and it's got 2 pedals on it. One's for like noise reduction, so you don't have to listen to any of the white noise. It's an ITC, so it's fed in through backwards, but it really is like they have crystals inside of it. They have the Tesla coil, so you can get like these long, back and forth. Where I feel like if you had like an SB7 or just whatever noise maker they are, the noises, I'm like the white noises.
yeah.
I can't do it for very long. I really can't. So this one works better for me, but
Yeah, that's nice. It's hard to piece together what they're trying to say sometimes. I feel like I don't understand. What do you mean? That's
yes.
then hear what they're saying. So, yeah.
Yes. No, that's amazing. So you had sent me your YouTube video that I had saw, and then I had no idea. Yeah, I heard you in chat, and I'm like, wow, she's so well, but you really understand this. You can tell somebody who's not, kind of still learning, or this might not just be their thing or area of specialty, but yeah, you were like really, and I was like, wow. So then I saw your video and I was like, that is amazing. So I thought that why not, you have such a big, powerful message. The way that you're seeing these craft are so, unbelievable. And I said too, because I know you had a lot of pictures and videos, and I think you've probably seen John Keel and Dan come on. Yeah. And but like I said, we could always come back and do a segment like that. And because I got tons of stuff too. I always love the show and tell part. Absolutely. But you got such a strong spiritual side of yourself too. So I guess, what has this journey been like for you? Like you talked about the awakening. The awakening's like, they should call it something other, like the rude awakening, like
Right.
right away. The awakening is not quite like, oh, I just,
Yeah.
woke from the somber of, no,
It is
not like
not
that at all.
somber.
No. So what was it like for you going through all this?
Well, death is always hard, and it's always a great shake-up and sad. But once I got past that, like, first year, I did some deep diving into the other side and what happens. Basically, like, there has to be more. Like, I'm seeing stuff moving and lights flickering, and my partner actually had a rock thrown at him when we were in a fight. So I feel like that was grandma or grandpa, kind of like, watch your mouth or something. Just stuff that's unexplainable. Not like, oh, I knocked the cup off the table and that was me. It's like, nope, there's no other way this could be happening. So that really accelerated. And then once I started to see like one craft, and it was clearly being observed. And so, I did some research. YouTube and the internet are great for finding out stuff. As much as they're not great, they are great for letting people know about the fringe stuff. And so I decided to go inward and get more like inner knowing about myself. And then the crafts started to appear even more and more. I did notice that when I started talking to some other experiencers, they would ramp up, and I'm talking like 15 and within like a half hour. So it's like, clearly I call it a parade, because to me it seems like a big show of something, like they want to make sure that that they're communicating with you. And then when I started to talk to another experiencer, I had like between 5 to 25. And then I brought my partner outside and my little one, and they were out there experiencing it with me. So it was kind of like, there's no way I could ever talk myself out of this. But I definitely think that they were celebrating the open discussion, the authenticity of like, this is my life, this is how I am. Because it's hard, when you're not around people that understand you, you don't really get to talk about it freely and explore like all the ideas of the other realms, the other worlds, the other beings that have really truly always been here. I think that they just make themselves known when they can be perceived and understood. So I really do feel like they were celebrating, like, yeah, you're talking about us, you're realizing some stuff. And then my guides actually pushed me forward to get on more of a public platform and talk about my story, which I am totally not that person. So just a massage therapist that did work behind closed doors, and never did I ever think I'd be out in public talking about any of this stuff, for sure. But yeah,
It's a different feeling, isn't it?
yeah. And then they were communicating with me. I would say stuff and they would react to it. But then when I started to think things and they were reacting to it, it was like, oh, this is the telepathy everyone's talking about, right? Like, they definitely are communicating and responding to my thought processes. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to process. We're like, why me? Why, or does this run in the family? Or I guess both.
My grandma was very touched. She was very psychic. She would say things that would happen before they would happen. But again, the Catholic side of it really kind of squashed that inner knowing or abilities. It was seen as evil or wrong. And I think that she held a lot of guilt for that. So it was something I definitely had to mostly come up with and figure out on my own.
It is. It is. It's really subjective in so many ways. People don't realize that. Did you get in like looking? I'm like, I'm going to find the answers. There's somebody who has these answers.
Yes.
There's somebody who's got the answers, right? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Begging for some guidance for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, or just somebody with the, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I guess I've told this before. Like MUFON, when I came, they measured it, and I was like, now what? You know, like you guys
Yeah.
are the now what? And then they're just like, now what? Like you tell us, and I'm like, what's the protocol here? You know, because it gets weirder and it gets weirder, and then like you have, and you're just like a file. I feel like that's been handed over to the government in so many ways, and I'm like, what's the I wish I would have known that part of it getting in. But we really are. People like you and that are out doing this are pioneering a lot of this alone and finding new ways. And I feel like together we could kind of be combining our efforts better. You know, we've got 80 years of history on this, of something that has not, I don't believe, is closer to being solved today than it was, 80 years ago. But I do believe that we are kind of disconnected among one another still.
Yeah.
And that the more, and like you said, when you connect with an experiencer, it amps it way up. Like it amps those abilities. It creates, I call it a dynamic. I mean, it creates whatever you want to call it. It creates energy between people. So I guess, and I've seen too, like, okay, well, they've had like the sightings where everybody's meditating together. That seems to help, but I still feel like there's some of these, like, that we should be exploring more of these ways.
I agree. Yeah. And I used to think that I had to be all like somber and be able to connect with them, but really they were popping up more when I was playing music and dancing outside with my toddler than being calm and totally, in a trance state or something. I do think that it can help, but I don't think it's completely necessary every time. And I do think that they like music too, to be honest. It's one of those languages that anything can relate to.
Oh, yes. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. I mean, I always say, like, that child, that laughter, that excitement, that's the kind of feeling I get from them. So I could feel like, I'm like, that makes sense why they would be attracted to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And we should be combining our efforts and our findings, because I think we have more answers than any government program ever could. I feel like most of us have a way more open mind and, deeper way of thinking about all of this,
I am with you 100%. I don't think anybody should be waiting or allowing the government to take this over or that agenda. It doesn't, I don't know of one situation off the top of my head. And I could probably name at least 5,000 of them that would ever turn out well with. I just don't see that happening. I don't. I mean, but then again, too, what do you think? Okay, the government takes this grand opportunity because they never let a good crisis go to waste. They never do. So let's say that they take it and, like they're like, oh, that Project Bluebeam button, tomorrow, that works good. And you go out and there's like, what do you think the public is going to do?
Well, I first of all, I think disclosure is definitely going to happen with us before it happens with the government. And that Blue Beam project does make me nervous because, it's not going to be anything to enlighten us or bring us together or get us to think more independently or healthy. It's going to be to scare us and run to them for help and protection when that's not what they're trying to do. I think it will be terrifying for people that have no idea, and the only thing they have to go on is these scary ass movies that have been playing forever, where ETs are all bad and they're only going to come here to do harm, when that is not the case. I mean, there are some that, yes, definitely would do harm, but not all at all.
Oh, this is a good question. So from Ray Burst over on, well, he's on X too, but he's over here. Which ET race do you want to contact the most, or are you in contact with the most?
To be completely honest, I don't know where these beings are coming from. The closest thing I've had to an explanation were constellations. They showed me Orion and part of Lyra and Sirius A and B in such a way that I knew that those were those constellations. Communicating with, because I was asking like, where are you from? But I don't know for sure. They could just be projecting something that I can witness from my angle on the universe, whatever this is, a stage, whatever, my point of view. So I don't know where they're from. It really doesn't matter to me that much, because as long as they're not doing me harm or my family harm, and I think they're trying to guide and teach, because I never would have done half the things that I'm doing if it wasn't for them coming out and making themselves known to me. But I'd like to get into contact, I think, with the Octurians and the Pleiadians. I have ties. I have a guide who is a Pleiadian, and I consider part of my star family to be from Arcturus.
Oh, wow. I know somebody else who strongly allies with them. He's Arcturian. James Kelly. I would definitely put you in contact if you're interested. But yeah, I didn't get to know, like, let's say, like, but some people really maintain that contact. I know people like James Gillian, like he has the ambassadors training, and he's like always, he looks for those points of connection. Like he communicates with, and to the point of where he can actually see like physical characteristics in people like you and me, and like to tell what star system, I guess, and just different traits. Do you see any of that, I guess, in what and that's crazy you said a part of Sirius. I was C, like that was my whole thing. So I found that connection, and the Orion and like all of that. There's a lot I feel like that comes from there.
Yeah. Well, I have some memories from past lives on other star systems or realms, however you want to describe them. So that, that's always cool to have happen, except if it's, sad, which has happened a couple times too. But I think that I can tell where people may have been in past lives based on energy. Sometimes there are physical characteristics that I can see, like visually see, but mostly it's inner knowing and feeling.
Yes, you have to go with that instinct. A lot of it is something that you experience. I 1000% agree. So Ray Burt has another question. What do you guys think of Billy Meyer? Cult, maybe. Billy doesn't let other people have opinions, and he doesn't want people to. He's the only point of contact, but I don't believe that's true. Any thoughts on Billy Meyer?
I guess I don't know him too well. His name looks familiar, but
he's the one that like has the sports model of Lazar's, like whatever you want to call it. It looks like I'd have to show you. It's like in all those posters. I want to believe that's one of Billy Meyer's. But if you ask, yeah, I mean it's just not. Yeah, Ray. I hope that helps you out from my end, but. I mean, what do you think of him? What does anybody else think of him? I don't know. I don't know what else to think of him. But you don't want Michael Horn after you, is all I'm going to say.
Does he claim to be the only point of contact on Earth or something? Is that what you just said?
How do you... He's got his own individualistic ways of seeing it, but he really is the only... Like, they had to separate. And when I had Michael Horn on, before, who's like basically he's taken all of Billy Meyer's work and then he's gone through it, but so he'll try and accommodate almost tolerate, I would say, other experiencers, but they don't see that the same way. They see him as the main point of contact.
Mm, that's a little odd.
A little cultish, a little
Yeah.
cultish. But that is, again, my conclusion. That doesn't have to be yours. But I would be surprised if somebody didn't see it that way or saw it. Yeah, Mr. Horn is just, oh gosh, he's, yeah.
I'm definitely going to have to look this up now.
I've had him on a couple times after I told. I mean, we've had some long negotiations on things he could do and things he could not do, and that was not insult everybody, and that's the sort of thing. So, I mean, he did behave himself while I was here, but I just don't see any point of going any further with it. If I believed it, and he wasn't experiencing it, it was Billy Mears. So, yeah, I'm just like, Raybert, you're gonna have to come on here and now set the record clear on this, because I don't know what to think about him right now. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions for me? So, Maya, go into like some of the healing that you do and how your energy and stuff like that. What is? I know you said that you do Reiki. I know there's some controversy around that, but what is? Can you kind of explain how I guess your methods are to some of that healing?
Well, I started doing energy healing about 26 years ago, and it wasn't Reiki, it was polarity healing. I mean, all energy healing is basically the same thing. And I just act as a conduit to help that person flow their energy through them to heal. Sometimes I get energy from the earth, or I will ask the dragons and the Octurians for a little oomph, but primarily it comes from the person. Mostly it was in massage appointments is when I was doing the polarity healing, and then I started to branch out into other forms, but it all really comes from love, as long as you're not going into it with bad intentions. The main source of it is love. So,
So
and
true
now,
about intention. Intention's everything, really.
yeah. And me and Jay Skyrunner have a show we do now where we do readings and healings for each for other people. So that's the only other way it can be done right now.
Oh, that's cool. So, when's your show on? Where does it air? Where can people find that?
That's on Jay's channel, and we don't have a set day or time yet. We're letting the holidays pass before we did all that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally get that. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. So you guys are kind of like combining. What's the topic, or what areas are you going to cover?
We can do like past live readings, Starseed origins, basically help people be their own healer. Like, I understand it's a hard thing to understand that you can heal yourself, and people need a little bit of guidance and push towards that sometimes. That's where like the Reiki comes through and the readings. But really, we're just trying to get people to understand that they can heal themselves, because we all can. Like, we can all be our own healers, just walking around.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're giving like, what type of readings do you use? Cards? Do you use?
We don't use cards.
intuition?
We have cards, but we don't use cards. We read the energy of that person, whoever is asking for it. So
Oh, but
it's a little bit
do-
different, but yeah.
I'm not sure if I froze or you froze for a second, but it looks like we're both back. You're
Yeah.
back, Maya.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Sorry. I wasn't sure where it was, but I kind of did for a second. So I was like, what's going on? So you do readings on people, like energy readings. Like, could you do one on me? Or is it do you have something that you have to prepare for?
It would just take me a minute to do that. Do you have a question? Like, is there something you want me to look into?
I'm just wondering. Well, you kind of know some of my background in a different way, but yeah, I guess just general and where's life going? Or there's some crazy things always going on in my life, but I'm just wondering if you could see some direction. If that makes sense. Brenda, why can't you see out of your eye? Oh man, I'm just reading through the chat.
Do you have guides you work with?
What's that?
Do you have guides you work with, like spirit guides, or at all?
Yes. I'm not as good about doing it, but yeah, I do. I pull the guides in when I need them.
Do you have a starseed origin you know about already? I mean, without telling me, because I'm seeing the Lyrans right now, and I know about Orion with you. So I feel like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like the bumps and the whatever roughness is happening or has happened or will happen is only meant to help you even further. There's something about not needing to act like everything is fine when it's not. I usually have Jay with me, so I don't know. I hope I'm helping you. Or something about not being too rough on yourself. And the Lyran step forward. That's all I can see right now. I wasn't really prepared.
No, that's okay. Thank you. I have to ask. Like anytime I hear or get that opportunity, I definitely have to ask. So that's amazing. Thank you. A lot of it did make some sense. So I'm always like, yeah. Isn't there, it's so it's not okay to always and that's so me too. I'm like, man, I make myself though. I've had so many situations I feel like in the past where it's kind of held me back in life. So even if stuff's kind of crazy going on in the back, I'm still gonna just get out there. But maybe that's not always the way to be. I don't know. But I always said I would never let somebody else's crazy stop me from doing anything. I always made that promise to myself, but sometimes you never know what the right way is or the wrong way is, or maybe that time was right or wrong. But yeah, it's hard to be out there, and especially on this side of things, I'm sure, as and the more you get out there in front of camera and being vulnerable, because it will take it and will be used. I don't know why people do this with people on social media, but they do. There's an element of vanity behind the scenes, or the things that they will do or try and do to with your channel or your mission or it's just it's almost like they were sent to you and they have nothing better to do with their day.
Yeah. I'm actually very surprised by the animosity and trickery and lies and backstabbing. I was not prepared for that at all in this community. I thought that I was a place
I know.
that everybody wants to find love and healing and figure out, the other world.
All trying to figure out these answers together. Yeah.
But that's not it at all.
No. No, not only do they not want you to figure out the answers together, they want to steal what you have so they can like figure out a way to like. It is just insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I take myself out of that and I'm like, I'm not your competition. Just try and let me just salvage what little, but it's like, that must be all they have to do during their daytime. I can't figure it out.
Or they are paid, you know.
That is
Or,
another.
or they like, there are people out there that like to make others feel bad because they feel bad. So, yeah, it's hard to keep that in mind though when you're being attacked in a way. I feel like it's very hard.
Yeah. It really is. Like, cause the me, like, just, that little ghetto part of me, I'm like, man, I want to come. And I was like, knock it off, like just make it a way to stop. But then it's like, oh, but all publicity. And I'm like, ooh, you can take that one too. And you can shove it because I don't want the publicity from that kind of, it's like, I'd rather talk to myself and just enjoy my peaceful day than I would. But I mean, obviously, if you're trying to get your message out there, there is a certain amount, but they are everywhere. They are everywhere. They don't stop. They don't stop. I'm like, man, do you like get in, do you have to take a bathroom break at least? Like, leave your phone out on the counter. Like, you give me like 10 minutes, it's like, man, I can just see them round the clock. Like, I can't even envision how they sleep 2 hours a night. And that's kind of what we're dealing with. But like, I don't know. It's crazy. It really is. So just know that not everybody is like that. Find your allies you can trust. Make sure you can trust them. Do make sure, because I've had people too where I've like, oh, these people are so solid, and then all of a sudden they must get a better deal or something. Or they must get, some hopping on or doing free work of the government. I don't know what they do, but it does. It really does suck that we are definitely not all here and in this together, so to speak.
And we should be. And maybe some of those people aren't people, maybe they're robots, or, maybe they're something else that we don't even know about. I don't know.
That's the way I say it too. I said there's something here that, and I firmly believe this, and I've asked other people, I guess, what do you think? There seems to be that there is something here that despises humanity, that for whatever reason, whatever you want to call it, it does not like humanity at all.
Yeah, I agree. There's something, well, it's been here for a very long time it made us forget. It made us suppress our abilities and from the get-go. So yeah, there's definitely something been here for a very long time that do not like us and have done everything and will continue to do everything they can to stifle us and stop us. I know. I feel like my opinion is that if we all understand the truth of who we are and our existence, that we would be unstoppable. There would be no governmental powers or authority keeping us from anything. Not like this. No control. That's just my opinion, though. I could be totally wrong.
No, everybody, like, it's so nice to hear your perspective on things, because it's like some of us, been down different roads, different paths with this, but really, it's great that everybody, that there is a certain segment in this population, like, that does care, that really does care about humanity. They do care about what's going on. They do care about the people, and that's great to have.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Well, mostly we find each other in these chats and channels too, I think, For me anyways, I have a hard time meeting anyone in person that thinks like me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. That definitely is a problem. I don't even... Yeah. Oh, gosh. That's just that is... What do you do? Where do you go from there?
Make your own community, I guess. I don't know.
So true. That's a good, I've tossed it around, and with everything too. I'm like, man, that's why I love I love the YouTube. I love, like, I wish there was like more back end stuff with people that could be done there, because even some of that, your community, I don't think I've kind of stumbled across people here and there, but no one I would say is like at that level where they were ready to or even could comprehend any of it. I do have people that come up. I had someone bring bring up their phone the other day at the gas station, and dummy me, it's just like I'm like 15 minutes outside of town, so I didn't really think. And this guy came over, he's like, "Hey, can you explain this to me?" And I was like, looked down and I said, "Do you have one of my videos?" And he's like, "Yeah." Well, it's like labeled something the government doesn't want you to know, or something they don't want you to know. And he's like, "Can you explain this to me?" And I was like, I don't have time right now, or I don't know, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But I think like it's just like it's a catchphrase, it's like a tagline. Like they don't want you probably to know anything that I'm saying, but that in specific, I gotta go. We figure it out. Like I just didn't know what to say. It was so funny though. It's like, oh god,
That seems so odd. Yeah.
that's what I thought too. But I thought, man, and because I was like, "Is that?" Oh yeah, it was, and I was like, it could have been anything. It could have been anything. Man.
We just don't have time today, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. And I was like, this is a smaller area, and I was outside of the city, which is even smaller. I'm like, oh god, I'm probably not gonna be able to go through here for gas. They're probably watching as I'm talking. Just kidding. If that was you, I didn't mean that. Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, so no, but for real though, it was kind of funny, and I was like, it's just it's a tagline. It's stuff they don't want you to know about, but for some reason, yeah. I don't know what to say. So people in your local community know who you are. They're like, "Oh, there's Maya there." She's no.
I mean, they might soon, but yeah, I try to keep it separate because I don't want backlash from my already skeptical family. I mean, they're skeptical of me altogether because I've been a black sheep my whole life. So yeah, I pretty much got treated like a pariah during the whole 2020 thing. My viewpoints were seen as me trying to kill grandma instead of like keep me and my immediate family healthy. So yeah, no, I try to keep it separate. Yeah. Well, I live in a small town too, though. So if someone finds out something, they're going to take that story and it's going to become like 10 times changed over by the time it gets back to me.
The game of telephone. Telephone. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, by the end of it, oh gosh, I don't even want to know what was at the end of that story. But you're right. Every time it exchanges, and especially in small towns, they can't stop themselves.
No.
Yeah. Not anytime soon, anyway. Not anytime soon. So yeah. And I'm just one of those, you forget, sometimes, but once that goes out there and everybody in the community, because I see local people that are in the chat and everything too that pop in. But there has to be somewhere like that everybody's like, oh God, here's the crazy UFO lady. Oh yeah, I went to high school with her and blah, blah, just God knows what they're saying. It's so funny though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, by the time it got back to me, it'd probably be that I believe I married Bigfoot and a UFO or something crazy. Who knows?
Who knows? I had him on Twitter once. Anyway, they took a brain scan. I don't know how they got it. So whoever did that, bravo to you, because that I don't even know how you got that. So they got a hold, and I recognized it was mine. I could see it a mile away. And they, not only that, they implanted what looks like a little alien inside of it, and then said that I had a reptilian in my brain. And that, which is okay, right? Okay, that's great. Yeah. you took my MRI. I'm sure that's a felony or two. Cross the, but I can't exactly prove how, if, and what or why. But then when they did that, and then everybody's like, "Oh, people," and I said, "You don't know about this community. There's a certain percentage of the people in this community that not only will believe it, they'll swear by it. They will swear by it now." And I'm like, oh God, I can just see this coming. Because there's certain people I can't even book on my show, and I get that reptilian like Laura Eisenhower. If you want, I'll have 5 or 6 scathing emails. They're like, Laura she's a reptilian, and I was like, oh come on, stop. So I figured like maybe this happened to her before, and whether or not that's the case, I'm gonna bring that to the people. I don't tell people how to think, why to think, or what to think. I'm going to bring the evidence. If I know somebody's blatantly lying, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you why or how I know. But from that fact further, I think that everybody, especially if you're on like the trial by your peers that are God knows what they're doing out in this community, I definitely think you have the right to have a voice and to be able to speak and to tell your side of the story, So that's where I come from with that. I don't like, people like, you have to think this way or that's it. You're ousted. Oust me then. Like, don't even, like, I'm already out the door leaving, that's me. Like,
Right.
I can't do that either. So I said, I think it's so much more dangerous to sit there and just pound on people. Why? Because they have a guest on you don't like, grow up. Like, that to me is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. It is dangerous to be my way is the only way, and you're wrong and evil if you don't think like me. There's a lot of that here. I definitely see that. And anger, too, just outright, like, why are you angry about this situation?
Yeah, like, and why do you have to make 550 videos, like, so-called truth seeker? Like, I think you're like, you seek truth to, like, I don't know. I think you should just get your own content. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
We wouldn't have to worry about that so much, but.
What's popular, and that's all that's important, it seems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not actual truth, but views. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, to me, like, that is not what motivated me to get in it. It's not what motivated, like, but what I found out along the way is like, okay, well, when I didn't have 50K subscribers over on Twitter. I had like 3. I couldn't get an answer out of anybody. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I have to get subscribers or whatever it is, so people will even answer a question. Yeah. So that's where I kind of was like, man, but I could see that how, is more and more it gets lost. It definitely gets, like, I get messages that get lost all the time, and mine aren't, as big as many, 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 many others. So I could see how that could happen too. So
yeah,
that's what's good about this format, because they can get into chat here, and we got an amazing chat, amazing crew in there, and like, ask your questions. I encourage people, like, if somebody's on here, don't hold those questions back. Like, take that opportunity and ask, like Miya for herself, so you can ask her, what is it? Maybe there's, I don't know, but it's so good to ask those questions firsthand if you can. Definitely. Absolutely agree. But you have, looks like you have definitely some supports in the chat. I mean, this is awesome. Awesome. And is there, like, I guess, going through some of this, you talked about your family. What was that? I can tell you, mine's crazy too. But what was that like? So that kind of, that keeps you kind of back a little bit, and like some anonymity that maybe to avoid some of their.
Yeah. Well, during 2020, when there was a difference in opinion, me and my partner actually got treated very, very poorly. I was taking care of my grandmother for 3 years before that even happened. And basically, one of the aunt's husbands tried to have us kicked out of the house because we were both sick, but we were isolating ourselves and we wouldn't get the shot. And so it became this whole thing like, you're going to be homeless if you don't do what we say or do what we believe. Thankfully, my mom jumped in and was like, you can't do this. You don't have any right to do this. But there was always this resistance and hate because, and I don't know why do you hate me because I don't want to believe in what you believe in or do what you're doing. I don't think.
Hell yeah, girl. I know that hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe
Oh,
it
yeah.
at all. You know, this sounds scarier than the actual sickness. Like, let me get sick and then build up the immunity. Like, that's the natural progression of, you know, evolution of people is you just build up the immunity for it. Unfortunately, most of my family got the thing, and my stepdad and my grandma died within 2 months of each other.
Oh, sorry.
And now my mom has severe heart problems, and she just had a stroke. So I'm not too sure if they're aware of the, you know, correlation between everything, but I think they should be. Like, come on, you think that everybody developed a problem or passed away suddenly after all this, you know, just as like a coincidence? My mom did ask me to not blame anyone for her getting sick, so I think she understands. But yeah, so I don't
There was
really.
a lot of weirdness. A lot of
Yeah.
weirdness. My son had 2 of his friends' moms drop over. Just like, I mean, and you're lucky to know, maybe you know how most of the audience knows, if you guys don't know, like, I was the one out there. I don't care if you wanted to wear a mask, you could. I just didn't want you to make me wear one or participate in any of this stuff. I wrote from the very months before, or I think like a month before we even shut down. I was like, your government is coming out with a virus in the name, and it's a lie. Like, whatever you do, don't shut your businesses down. Don't do this. I was like a crazy lady. I didn't see anything political about it, and I still don't, other than it is government, and it is your government that lies. So I was the same. Oh my gosh, the hatred from people. They tried to mace me. They told me I was a grandma killer. I mean, I was everything but my name. You know, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. But thank you for not caving, because
No.
that would have been bad.
I was pregnant at the time too. I wasn't going to put my life and my unborn child's life at risk because the whole thing sounded fishy. Like, why are you scared of a flu? Don't we have these every year? So yeah. It just, everything flipped on its head and much was revealed. And so it was a good thing, but it was also very scary. And yeah, there was a lot of drama, a lot. But you're amazing.
Yeah.
I watched that video. That was like, oh my God. I wish I had that gumption to get up and, you know, say basically F you to all those people pretending to care about children, you know? So.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should get that video. Maybe now is the time to, because it's always, you know, so many times has this been used over my head, and I thought it was accidentally playing when I had people on the other day. But this is like, honestly, I am, how do I even say this? I'm so passionate about our children, and I'm so passionate about them having the choices that maybe, you know, other people weren't. My kiddo, like, I was not going to have that put on him. He was able to go in, and I mean, we had some serious resistance. And when I say serious resistance, I mean, they tried to lock the whole school down, and I mean, it was crazy. But I'm going to pull it up here, and we're just going to get this out of the way. Because, you know, I said it really, it really is. Like, you can say whatever you want to say, this, whatever, but I promise of my very being that I would fight, and I would fight every day so that your right to speak. I might not agree with you, but I'm going to fight for your right to speak. I'm going to fight for your rights. I don't believe in all of this, you know. I'm more of like, hey, let's be in the least restrictive environments that we can be in. Everybody should be able to coexist, you know, and be okay and cool around everybody else. And then I'm just going to take this and we're just going to throw it out there for those of you who have not. I showed Maya, poor Maya. So for those of you who have not seen this, I mean, probably definitely lose some subscribers along the way, but this is exactly where I think you have the choice. Every single person should have a choice in the matter. So not only that, I'm going to definitely defend the children. I'm not going to stop doing that either. So let's just bring this in, and I might as well just hug that elephant in the room. Oh, yeah, right. Here we go. I mean, why not? Why the hell not? Here we go. And you think I'm a lunatic? I'm definitely probably am a lunatic for sure.
Neither any of you. And what she just said is everything that I protect my son from. I don't want him in a classroom full of delusionary teachers that think that my child owes them his breath. Neither any of you. There's one down there that has a mask on. Look around us. I'm not even going to address you anymore because we are not going to comply. I'm going to ask you guys, are we going to comply? No! We've had enough. No! That's it. That's it. Period. We will not comply, and there's nothing that any of you can do about it. You're not doctors. You're not lawyers. You're nobody that's going to be giving medical advice to anybody. Just keep it to yourself. But I'm telling you this, my child, who is medically exempt from a mask, actually has a disability. You can smile all you want. Who cares? A disability, all you want. But this kid he cannot wear a mask. So you're telling me that the kids who have to wear a mask, like the people sitting in the first couple rows are back behind me, are more important than my child? I don't think so. Because I'm telling you, I'm waiting for one of you to step out of line, and I'm going to see an attorney. Everybody, we can file a restraining order against these people. We can file an injunction against these people. You got to stop. You see Stan down there? Get him out. Ask for him to resign. Every member on here, ask for them to resign. I have had enough.
And that's it. That was one of my many, I don't know what you call that, but yeah, I definitely went out and I paved the way, and it was not always met. It was definitely not always met. I mean, I usually met with the police. It was usually met with, and there are repercussions that come with this. They were not, and they're still not very happy with me, but I've continued, and I do it for everyone to have a choice. Everybody, I believe, should have a choice. So, yeah. That's where most of the stems from, and then they'll take whatever. I'm like, no, you got to go back to where this started. And if you think for 2 seconds there weren't repercussions for that, you're crazy, because there were. But gladly, I wouldn't have done it any other way. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get that pain, and I'm sorry that happened to you, because that never should have happened to anybody.
No, but eventually it made me more solid in my own inner knowing, and also thankful that there were other people out there. Because at first I was like, am I the only one that's not seeing why they're afraid? Like, am I the only one that's thinking this is all a little bit too much? But yeah, and you were saying, pretty much everything that every parent that believed the way we did, you were saying the same thing that everyone was thinking that believed the way we did. So that was amazing. I would have never had the courage to do that at all. Like, no way.
I appreciate you saying that. And we had, we started grassroots movement here. I became the face of it. And then what happened was, like, the day that the numbers went up and, nobody was getting in the schools. I'm like, okay, if our number's called, we're going, right? So I look around, we going, and I'm like, Brody, there's nobody else here. There's no other parents here. Nobody else brought their kids here with no mask. I was like, plan B, you're still going in, right? We prepared for this. Like, we prepared for this day. And this is like sending your 6th grader off to war is what it feels like. And he was prepared. He was ready. He went in, and I said, now at noon, you just tell everybody all at one time, you go, and then you organize, Brody. So I taught him all that stuff. So that was hard. That was hard to leave him and let him, fly from that point forward. I don't think he ate lunch in the cafeteria for a good couple of years, which we knew this was part of. There's always consequences. There's always consequences to that. But yeah, no, I really appreciate that. And like I said, I'm glad that you stood your ground. You didn't do something that you felt was wrong for yourself. But I think that, now that more and more that are like us, I don't know anybody really that's in this community that's one of us, that's an experiencer, that thought that was a good thing to do to your body. I don't know of really one, to be quite honest. I think that was maybe like how people, or I don't know, but I don't think that experiencers, especially how cautious a lot of us are, and very susceptible to some of the stuff that's going on, or is it your government, or I'm definitely onto the government, like you wouldn't believe, like everything is the government till I prove it otherwise, is where I'm at with the whole thing. But don't you think that there was like a lot of a portion of the people that I felt that this was actually one community where I didn't see a lot of that, and getting and running and going to the doctor for a free ice cream and taking that jab?
Right. No, I think I've heard of maybe 1 or 2 people that got forced to take it for their job. And, God, that I can't imagine making that kind of decision. Like, either you're going to be paid and be able to feed yourself and your family and take care of life, or, take this thing that we're experimenting on you for. So I can't imagine what that must have felt like. But no, I feel like it was I feel like we go through these big moments where, people keep talking about the split, right? You choose one side or the other. What kind of world do you want to live on? I feel like instead of one, there are several big moments where we all kind of split off into what side, what direction, what way we want to go. And I feel like that was one of them. It helped us to recognize each other too.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. I said that I think that, it did weed out a lot of people. That it did. That all that energy alone, like, saved me some time doing it.
Very intense energy.
They're very fast, quick. And I mean, like, half my friends were like, gone in like a day's time over that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. And it's like, I think that and I'm guilty of it too. It's like your tolerance and for like people and the crap and just the tolerance for all of it, that's hard. That's hard to regain and have that empathy again for, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just because I think that we're all just so over it in so many ways.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, what's our best route at getting back to that oneness, or getting back with one another, trusting even one another?
Well, it's going to take compassion from everyone, and the people who didn't see, it's going to take them opening their eyes to the truth and not continuing to go, oh, I just need to get more whatever, the boost things, and continue to follow what the doctor says or do what my government says. It's going to take them to realize that, this is part of the illusion. It's an illusion on top of an illusion. And they are definitely trying to harm us. So it's going to take them opening their eyes and us being compassionate to past behaviors. Something I've had to work on, actually. So,
Yeah, it's a work in progress. This is not. It is a work in progress. Life is a journey, not a destination, unfortunately. I'd like to get off here and hop on at, like, everything is, rainbows and lollipops, but that doesn't happen either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of ugliness and bad things, but you can't recognize the good unless you go through the bad.
That's true.
You won't appreciate it. I mean, you might be able to recognize it, but yeah, life would get a little bit mundane, I think, if everything was perfect and normal all the time. I mean, what a fun ride, like this is like living in some kind of fantasy, because now we know what we know, and the veil is thinning for each of us or gone completely. And I used to really be into like fantasy movies, and now sometimes I feel like I'm in the fantasy movie. I can't fly
Oh,
yet,
I know.
but it's amazing. There's so much to see and understand and explore. I think that if we come together on maybe that level and exploring the reality of every realm or world, that might bring us together too. And if everyone can let go of their ego and needing to be right and their story being the only story, I think that will help too. Like, we're all different. We're the same, but we're different. We have different thoughts and beliefs, and that's totally okay. No need to start some kind of war. Life's already hard enough.
Yes, it is. Let's not make it any harder on one another. Please. Like, yeah, no, I mean, we're all, I think that's what's great. Like, that we're able, and I know so much of this, I was warned in the beginning, is like the truth is a path or a journey that you walk mostly alone. That's fair enough to say. Come into this world alone, leave this world alone. Yeah, that's fair to say too. But while we're here, we might not be the social beings that we crave that, because I'm not exactly one of those either. I enjoy both. I love being around people. I love, being around. I love this. It's like if I could find more people, like, people in chat, like people that were in my community, I could see myself having a conversation with them that was slightly below the surface. But it's so hard to do. So that's why I appreciate these platforms so much. I really do. That part of it, I love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then,
I saw something that Stone put that everyone was looking for their tribe or asking where their tribe. That was something.
I saw that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're finding it now. I think that this is like the building blocks to the next step for humanity. We're just the ones building it, though. We're the ones building up what life should be and how people should communicate and get together. So it's going to be messy and ugly and weird and confusing. And, the truth is going to come from us and each other. And, hopefully someday we can come together on a more face-to-face basis. But yeah, I think that we're the builders for the new life, the new world.
No, I love this. Yes, I love this. And I guess I just don't see everybody. Not everybody is. I don't think everybody's human and here with good intentions, and they don't have to be a part of it. Maybe, like,
Right.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe there will be a huge split, and we'll just float off on another better planet that.
We just want to start our own timeline here, like, by invitation only. Please, it's kind of like, we'll rise above. Just give us our own. Like, I don't know what's going on down here, but they're all mixed up. It's crazy.
Or our high vibration they won't be able to stand it, and they'll either have to like become higher vibe or just go underground or something. I don't know.
Or go through our mind uncontrolling the mind. They'll lose it. I'm convinced the more you deprogram somebody, like, the weirder they could get. I don't know. And then they got to go to a new timeline themselves quickly. But yes, I don't know. I joke a lot about that, but I'm like, when you rise, you get onto that. It's not like, and understand you're as strongest as your weakest link, or you know, but I try and know my, you know, my vulnerabilities better than I know my strengths. I'm a firm believer in that, but I don't think we all got to go together necessarily. Like there can be another option and they can go there, but we just need, it's just when you have that, it's like I feel like there's so many roadblocks. And my son kind of put it best. He's like, don't you just think some people have to make everything so complicated with all these rules and all of these protocols are all, and I said, yeah, those are the people we want to stay as far away from as we possibly can. 'Cause I'm about all about letting somebody else have their issues until they're ready, like they can have them. I'm not going to take them on. I'm not going to like, you know, just keep them on over there until you got them under control. Or if you need help, I'll help you, but I'm not going to take them on for you. And that's a huge part of it too, where I feel like so much of that is just thrown on people. But yeah, it's just it's a lot to maneuver through, and you got a younger child. I mean, but you're a warrior, girl. Like you're still out there and doing all this, and your message is so powerful, so powerful.
Thank you. It's a ride. Some days I don't know how I'm going to make it through the day, but I do. Yeah, it's like
somehow it always works out.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, balancing, having one foot in, you know, this weird physical and the other foot over here in the spiritual and, you know, fabulous. And it's kind of, you know, yeah.
That's awesome.
It takes practice. It takes practice.
Yes. Keep that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that balance is so important. Just kind of keep grasp. Anytime I go too far in one way or the other, it starts to, you know, you can definitely feel it start to shake up a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, is there anybody in chat that has any questions for Miya? What is your, like, what do you offer for, you know, you offer Reiki that you do, and what are some other things that you'd work with people on?
Well, do you mean on the online platform? Mm-hmm. Well, we do, I guess it would be like a lot of guidance. We can do healing, distance healing from either him or me or both of us. And then we really do like work best together because we vibe off of each other and can read people a lot easier. Also, I'm not as fast as him. He's like complete rapid fire when it comes to tapping into energy and information. I generally need like 20 minutes to feel into it.
Right.
So, I only ever did it before with a couple clients that were open to it, and massage sessions. But so yeah,
is he free, or would you like me to, like, I mean, because I think I do have something open tomorrow in the afternoon. I mean, you could both come on if that would be more comfortable and show what you do. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I'd have to talk to him to see if he's open to that and see what I have going on. But yeah, we'd love to.
Yeah, I know, or like, you know, sometime this week even. I know I did not put a hard, like, but I could get a schedule. I know that there's like a few days open. I would love to see what you guys both do together. That would be amazing. Okay. But I also know that you have a life and that you got other things going on. So yeah, if you want, we could just plan on something like that. Because I know he had reached out earlier, and I said, oh no, you can both kind of explain who he was. I was like, no, you both could come on. That's no big deal. We'd love to open up a show. But beings we, you know, into this, I didn't know if you had it within the next couple of days, a spiritual ascension saying they work well together. That's awesome. So I'd love to see what you got, and then you can promote the show and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we'll just need to connect afterwards, or
no, that'd be awesome. And then, so in closing, is there anything that you felt that you know want to still talk about, or what would you like to leave the audience with?
No, I don't think I have. I think I said a lot. I feel like
you did a beautiful job.
Yeah. The primary thing, my message lately has been to remember who you are and be kind and gentle to yourself and each other, And yeah, I think that's about it. That's been my only message lately. It hasn't changed. So.
That's good. That's powerful. And I know that this is not easy for you. It really isn't, and getting out here. And then I believe me, I've been there too, and the struggle is real. But you're doing an absolutely fabulous job, and you're doing this at your pace, and that's okay. Like everybody else, like this isn't about them. This is about you, your journey, and your mission, and your reason for being here. So don't ever let anybody tell you any different. And then, two, would you tell everybody where they can find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel at Miya StarFire, and on Facebook at Miya StarFire. Also, you can book readings and healing sessions on Jay Skyrunner's channel when we do shows. And there's also Celestial Energy, I think it's .net. There will be a link on his channel to get to the website there.
That's awesome. So yeah, Jay, I gave you a wrench earlier. If you want to drop those links in the chat, you can go ahead and do so. Kurt W75, thank you so much for the support. Always appreciate it. But yes, and then everybody's saying that the great show, Spiritual Ascension. It looks like she's seen the two of you guys maneuver before. She said it's absolutely great. You guys have a great thing going, great energy.
We did a reading for her on Rob.
Oh, I love her. Isn't she good?
She's awesome. Yeah.
She's one of a kind.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. She's like your secret. You want to clear out something, take that girl with you. She's got it. She's got it. I'm telling you. I love it. I love it.
She calls bullshit whenever there is any. Just
yeah. Oh, yeah. She doesn't think twice about it. I said, and she has no remorse for it either, guys. So I'm gonna let her do, because that's her thing. That's her thing. And I said, we all need somebody like a spiritual ascension in our life, and I got mine, so you get yours. But yeah, no, I love it. Absolutely love it. And I said, somebody was, I don't know, to make a long story short, it was somebody who was really pushing a narrative, and spiritual ascension kind of bucked that narrative, rightfully so. Rightfully so. She can ask questions. And so then they're like, oh, well, one of your wrenches and admins thinks this. And I was like, well, she can. She thinks, like, yeah. Well, they took it very offensive. You shouldn't have taken what she said offensive. It had nothing to do with you. If people can't see that there's good and bad ET, and you only say that there's good, and that's everybody has to say that, then this is not the channel for you. Even though I've known you for a couple of years, and you're supposed to be these leading, people in the community, now I'm really questioning your judgment, because that to me is dangerous. Anytime you try and stop that, that to me is dangerous. So I applauded her.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah,
absolutely.
Letting people have an opinion is very dangerous.
Yeah. Yes. And she does. You mean no harm. You don't. But you're standing up too. Spiritual ascension. You're standing up, and not all feelings are going to be able to make it through that. And that's okay. They don't need to. Girl, you're doing nothing wrong. Your heart's in the right place. Keep doing what you're doing. And Miya too. Everybody, you guys, you see Miya, show her some support. Show her some SNX radio love. We're behind you. And if you ever get yourself into any sticky situations, you let me know, girl, and I'll come and I'm okay. like spiritual ascension. We'll fight our way out there for you.
I haven't had any haters or anything negative happen yet, but I know what will probably happen. So.
Well, hi, Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer's coming on pretty soon too. Yeah. So no, if you ever, like I said, if you ever get yourself, hopefully that never happens. Hopefully, because you have such a great heart. You really do. Don't ever let anybody steal that sunshine is all I'm saying.
Oh, they've tried, but thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And in closing, is there anything that you would like to leave the audience with?
No, just keep pushing forward, keep asking questions, keep searching for truth, speak the truth. And remember who you are is really my biggest message right now. Remember everything.
It is very important. That is very important. Well, Maya, thank you so much for coming on. And like I said, talk to your partner on this, Jay Skyrunner. And I could even open up like this week, being it's like, between the Christmas and the New Year's, I have some flexibility. So if you guys do, if you can just give me some like times or dates, and I can maneuver something and we'll get you both back on.
Okay, for sure.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you. And thanks you to everybody who is watching this evening. And thank you to Kurt W75 for your super chat. It is so greatly appreciated. So tonight, Maya, I think she's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful soul. If you have not seen her videos, definitely go to her YouTube and check them out. All of those links should be in the description. And I've got tons of stuff coming up for you guys, and I don't have my schedule to tell you about it. So that's me. That's my bad. That's like the Christmas catching up, maybe. I don't know, the Christmas brain or something. But it was absolutely beautiful and wonderful to see everybody, as always, in chat. You guys mean the world to me. I can't tell you, and I cannot express enough how important each and every one of you are. So we're going to keep on going, and I tell you, be good to one another. Really. I mean, it's very important, especially as these times of, I don't know what you'd even call it, the around the holidays, not always good for everybody. That's okay. They have not been the best for me either, but I'm making the most of it. I'm trying to make new traditions, but I'm still, just know that there's always family here for you. If you're struggling, reach out to one of us. Like, I don't want to see any of, that get overlooked. So if that's you, please, by all means, reach out to one of your fellow family members here. We would love to help and love to listen to. And thank you so much, Spiritual Ascension. That is so sweet. And for those of you who don't know, everybody who has contributed, I have a whole list. And if you've ever said any sort of super sticker, super chat, anything, since I've got my privileges back, which I'm excited about, I'm putting it into a drawing. It's going to be drawn on March 1st. And from there, I haven't decided. I think it is going to do 3, but I've had guests that have been on, and I will get a list too, because if I keep mentioning one and without the other, then it's not fair either. But that have donated certain things, so you get put into that pool. And if your name gets drawn, I'm going to handcraft and pick and send you a very special thank you gift. So that being said, everyone, I hope that you had some cheer, some food, you're around something, on over these holidays, and just know you do not have to be alone. There's never a point you have to be alone. So reach out to one of us if it's one of you in chat, and, you guys know how to reach one another, and it's really important. So we want to make sure that everybody makes it through the holidays safe and sound. And I mean, who knows, 2026 could be this like miraculous year that takes us back to the future or something. I mean, we don't know for certain, and there's no use in like just kind of giving up on maybe that altogether. But no, I'm joking. But we'll find a way through this. So on behalf of SNX Radio, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown. And just stay posted, because I'm going to be dropping the schedule here pretty soon. So we got some great people. We do. We have some great people coming on. So until then, I'll see y'all next time.
It's the next radio. Turn the signal up. Coleyufo in the building. If you hear this, you already tuned in.
Truth beyond disclosure. We break that silence over. Hands up high, shoulder to shoulder. They can't hide this takeover. Truth beyond disclosure. When it's in the sky, get closer. It's the next wave, we flip.
said, boy, that's just a plane. But the thing did a right angle, drifted, vanished in the rain. Late night, sipping dials on the crack deck. Calling show folks, dated, looking quarter then. Fall field, circles in the wheat row. Others every trucks on the black dark dirt road. Black suits, black shades, move quiet. Tell you where the balloon if you riot. Classified stamp on the radar bit, but the tape got out. Now it's all on the clip. Files in the basement, they got deadlines. Whole page black, but the truth still shines. If it's nothing, why they guard that folder? Now everybody listening over their shoulder.
Hush, hush, but the ground keeps shaking. Night sky lit and your phone keeps waiting. They say stand down, but the crowd's way bolder. Turn that dial, feel the signal get colder there. Truth be on disclosure, we break that silence over. Hands up by your shoulder to shoulder. They can't hide this takeover. Truth be on disclosure.
The lights in the sky get closer. As the next wave we flip that cover. Coley got the world on hover.
Yeah, late shift out back on a smoke break. Saw 3 lights glide and freeze and rotate. No sound, but my heart went drum, drum. Next blink, 1 inches from the loading dock door. I'm face to face with a long black pupil. Time slowed down, every hair stood mutual. Thought I screamed, but we talked in flashes. Images, maps, burning through the lashes. Then they show me cities, oceans, endings. Then a clean ring with a brand new sending. Said we've been knocking, you've been blind. Your leader sign checks and erase your minds. Wars in the sky with the logos off. Secret crews take notes when the engines cough. Lights up security, same old script, but they scrub that footage from your nightly clips.
Too many eyes, you can't just blame weather. Too many nights with that bright, strange tether. We feel that hump, that invisible motor. Coley on the mic, bring the wave in closer.
Truth be on disclosure, we break that silence over. Hands up by the shoulder to shoulder. Wake your eyes, take over. Truth be on disclosure.
The lights in the sky get closer. As the next wave we flip that cover. Coley got the world on hover.
Temperature drops, the room goes still. Echoes fade in a silent thrill. As the next read.
Turn it up, let's go! Coleyufo in the cockpit live. If you're ready for the truth, throw your hands up high! Truth beyond disclosure. Lights in the sky take over. Coley got the buzz, it's a takeover. Everybody in the club yelling, show us! Truth beyond disclosure. We want facts, we want closure. Hands up if you're tired of the cover. It's the sound of the secrets uncovered. Yo, radar lock, but they don't see nothing. Hometown kids saw the triangle hovering. Phone in his hand, got the whole thing filmed. Next day gone like it fell in a kiln. Black fans creeping, sir, that's a star. But his zigzag snaps like a muscle car. There's a base badge flash. Don't take pics till the hanger got craft that can break physics. Loose spin tight with the same 10 lines. But the pilot can't sleep, see the same 3 lines. Briefed in a room, this meeting ain't happened. Sign this paper, mine gets flattened. Flip that